Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. This time we're going to be doing the 1987 film, Dirty Dancing. And of course stars Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey, Jerry Oldberg, Cynthia Rhodes, and Marina Garrison. And of course this is like the ultimate guilty pleasure film. And of course, it's really Dirty Dancing came out in 2015 instead of 1987. The movie will be criticized as far too predictable. Which is true. It is a very predictable film. It's basically a story where Jennifer Grey's family goes to a resort up in the Catskills, region of New York State. And they spend 3 weeks on vacation. And Jennifer Grey falls in love with a dance instructor who is played by Patrick Swayze. And his background role and became an international star because of this. Even though Patrick Swayze has been around acting since 1983. And of course Jennifer Grey has also been around acting since 1983. Both of them starred together in a movie called Red Dawn. And which of course, those of you who don't know that particular film, that was the movie where when the Russians invaded the United States, and Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze played two teenagers who were fighting the Russians. So they knew each other. And 4 years later, they got together to do this film. And Jennifer Grey was, in an interview that's on this particular DVD, she was kind of thrilled that she was doing a movie with Patrick again, because, like I said that it worked earlier. But of course, we know they ended up falling in love together, and they walked off into the sunset at the end of the film. Well, because like I said, it's a pretty predictable film. By today's standards. By that time, it was like a new, nothing really, excuse me. Nothing really new at that time. To have a movie like this where some rich girl falls in love with a poor boy, or vice versa. And that's what Patrick Swayze was in this film. He plays like this working class dance instructor who never really had any real kind of a breaks before. And the reason why the two characters ended up getting involved with each other in the first place was that Cynthia Rhodes, who was usually Patrick Swayze's usual dance partner in the film, she ended up getting pregnant by this obnoxious raider named Robbie, and says, she wants to go for an abortion. Of course, this movie is based in 1963, and abortion wouldn't be legal in the United States to about 10 years later. So she goes to have an illegal abortion. And of course, she couldn't perform in the, in the dance, in the famous mambo, the Patrick Swayze and Cynthia Rhodes does, in another hotel. So Jennifer Grey says, "What can, why not I filming?" Of course, she does, and they work, and you see them practicing, the dance routine for 4 or 5 days, whatever it was. And of course, you have the dance sequences and a little bit of trivia. The scene where the song "Hungry Eyes" is being played in the background, and a scene where Patrick moves his hand down Jennifer Grey's side like this, and she's giggling. She's laughing because she was being ticklish. There was an actual Dirty Dancing bloopers, and he thought that was so. When they ended the movie, they thought it was so great that they put those bloopers in the film, just because to prove how hard it is for Jennifer to control herself laughing, because according to the audio commentary played by from Eleanor Bergstein, who was the producer and the writer of the movie, found out that Jennifer Grey was very ticklish. So Patrick did this move on her side, and that was a bare midriff for a good chunk of that of the film. And actually, of course, she was being ticklish, and you see Patrick breaking character because he got so disgusted with her laughing in that sequence. So of course, actually, they do this dance in this other hotel, and of course, after that, they end up having sex for the first time. It was a very, very sexy scene, and of course, anybody got hot and excited for Jennifer Grey for that movie. And the funny thing is, Jennifer Grey was supposed to be, her character was supposed to be about 17 years old, but in reality, she was actually 27 at the time she did this. And I think Patrick Swayze was about 35 years old when he did this film. So it was like they were at least 10 years. Both characters were about like 10 years older in reality than what the characters were supposed to be. So anyway, of course, I think they fall in love. And what happened was, and one, they found out that somebody was stealing wallets, pickpocketing wallets. And of course, Jennifer Grey says, "So what about this little old couple that's in the movie?" But meanwhile, the person who was accusing Patrick Swayze character of pickpocketing, stealing wallets, was supposed to have sex on one night stand with Patrick Swayze's character. He turned her down to spend the night eventually spending the night with Jennifer Grey's character. So of course, she got mad and accused them of stealing her husband's wallet. Of course, we all know that wasn't true, and actually he eventually got off, but he, got fired anyway. And of course, he comes back at the end of the movie and does that big dance number to the tune of "I'm Having the Time of My Life," which of course ended up winning the Academy Award for Best Song. Well, all in all, this is a very good movie, and the soundtrack from Dirty Dancing became the highest selling movie soundtrack of all time till Bodyguard came out. It was about like 5 years later. It held the record for 5 years as the highest selling movie soundtrack. Because not only has a mix of early 1960s songs on it, it also has a few new original songs on it, like 1980s songs soundtrack mixed in with 1960s songs. Because like I said, the movie was based in 1963, but for the DVD, this DVD that I'm holding is the Ultimate Edition DVD, which came out, I think it came out in 2002 or 2003 when this movie came out. And the funny thing about this, when this DVD came out, they added, because this is like the second DVD version of Doing Dice that came out. And one came out like 3 or 4 years earlier, and this is like the second version, and they added more stuff. They added audio commentary by a bunch of people. Like I said, one was the writer and producer of the movie, Eleanor Bergman. You also had Kenny Ortega and Miranda Garrison did a commentary talking about, of course, the dancing aspect of it and the choreography for the movie. Jennifer Grey did not do an audio commentary, but she did an interview. Bergman did an interview. Miranda Garrison did an interview. Kenny Ortega did an interview. Of course, separate interviews other than the audio commentary. And of course, they also have 3 music videos on here. Hungry Eyes for She's Like the Wind, the Patrick Swayze. Which actually was written and sung by Patrick Swayze. And of course, this music video for I Had the Time of My Life. And also you had On the second disc, there's a 2-disc set. They also had the Dirty Dancing live in concert, which was because, like I said, the movie was so big and the soundtrack was so big that they decided to have a music tour, a concert tour. And one of the concerts was filmed in Los Angeles, and they had several of the performers who was featured in the soundtrack performing in this concert. You had Eric Carmen was in it. You had Mary Sayworth performing. You also have Bill, one of the guy who did the song "My Time of My Life." Excuse me. Bill Medley also performed. Contours also performed. Plus some of the original Dirty Dancing dancers also was dancing throughout the whole concert. So you had, it was a good concert. It's like an hour and a half concert, so it has some very, very good bonus features on this thing. And of course, like I said, the audio commentary, and of course the fact is that a lot of people who appeared in this movie, of course, since then, died since then. But most notably, of course, Patrick Swayze died of cancer, and Terry Oldbuck, who also died of cancer. But some other people also have died. Jack Weston, who played the owner of the resort, died, I think, like in the late 80s, like 189 or 90, died. You had the guy who played the Raider, Robbie the Raider, died in a motorcycle accident. Of course, also most notably, there was also a woman who died, who was killed in a drug shooting in New York City above the in an apartment that's above the Carnegie Deli in New York City. And of course, if you want to know who she is, in the final dance sequence, she was the blonde dressed in blue, who was wearing a blue top, a blonde. Not Cynthia Rose, another, blonde. In the final sequence, she was killed in a drug-related shooting. And of course, Sarah was the first really notable death from this movie that became publicity because it was of where it was. So of course, this is my review of Dirty Dancing. Of course, this is, I'm sure that a lot of people did this review of Dirty Dancing on YouTube. But this is, my review on the film, and it is still one of my guilty pleasures because I like seeing Jennifer wearing her underwear in a lot of times in this film. And the main thing is that she is now, I think, 53, I believe now, if I have my math right. And she still looks just as hot as she did in 1987, which is amazing. Amazing to me that she still looks as good as she did. Well, thank you for watching the video. Please like the video, make comments, subscribe to my YouTube page, my YouTube channel, and catch you next time.